Alright, in today's video we'll be going over how the armor mod system works. It may feel overwhelming that there are a lot of mods in this game, but after you've watched this video you should have a solid understanding of how they work so you can make the builds that you really want to play with. You can also pause this video whenever you want to spend more time reading the description of each mod when it's on screen. Now before we talk about how the mod system works, I want to point out that each of your armor pieces have a set energy cap. Each mod costs a certain amount of energy to use, so consider that when you apply mods to your armor as you're putting the build together. Harmonic mods also cost a bit less than the dedicated elemental mods, so consider using those when you use weapons that match your super's element. Alright, let's start with ammo generation and scavenger mods. When you kill or assist in killing an enemy, it progresses the ammo generation bar on your HUD. The special and heavy ammo finder mods increase how fast those kills and assists fill up those bars. This also includes ammo generation mods on your chest for the element weapons you're using. We also have special and heavy ammo scout mods. These drop small ammo bricks for your teammates when your special or heavy ammo meters fill up. In other words, when you get a heavy brick, they get a small one too. The final mod type in this group are the ammo scavenger mods, which increase how much ammo you get from picking up a brick for your chosen element. The next category includes weapon boosting mods. Most of these are more for PvP players, which includes in-flight compensator, targeting mods, reloader mods, unflinching mods, and holster mods. These have variants for each element to match the weapons that you're using. I personally don't play PvP, so I don't use most of them except for reloaders when I use SMGs. The third mod category is damage resist mods, which are extremely useful. You can get specific element resist, sniper resist, which covers damage from more than 30 meters, melee resist, which covers damage resist within 4 meters, and concussive dampener, which helps reduce area of effect damage. These mods can stack, but with diminishing returns. So let's say I know I'm going into a boss fight where I'll take void splash damage. For my build for that boss, what I like to do is use concussive dampener with void resist. That'll multiply to 28% damage resistance to void splash damage with only 2 mods, instead of stacking 3 void resist to 30% damage resistance. The next mod category should be familiar since you heard about it in video number 2, when we talked about armor archetypes. Stat mods. As I said before, you can add a minor stat mod for +5 to your choice of stat, or a major stat mod for +10 to a stat of your choice. For our 5th mod category, we have ability regeneration mods. These can work in one of 2 ways, depending on the mod. For either way, you need to know that the stat numbers you have determines how much ability energy you get for the type of ability regen mod that you're using. The first way is by gaining ability energy from picking up an orb of power. Here's an example. If you use the innervation mod, that gives you grenade ability energy back from picking up an orb of power. Having a grenade stat of 100 maximizes how much grenade ability energy that mod gives you for picking up that orb of power. You could also stack multiple innervation mods for a stronger effect, but that will give you diminishing returns. This mod type includes innervation, invigoration, insulation, absolution, and orbs of restoration. Now hopefully you're okay after me explaining that one, but the second way of using these ability regeneration mods is quite simple. When you use an ability, it regenerates energy from another ability. Here's another example. If you use the mod Focusing Strike, that mod grants you class ability energy when doing damage with a powered melee attack. Having your class stat at 100 will make Focusing Strike give you the most class ability regeneration as possible. You can stack multiple copies of Focusing Strike for even more ability regeneration, but with diminishing returns. These mods include Dynamo, Ashes to Assets, Hands-On, Impact Induction, Bolstering Detonation, Momentum Transfer, Focusing Strike, Distribution, Outreach, and Bomber. If you need to go back and pause to read the descriptions of the mods, be sure to do that. Alright, moving along. Our next mod category is orb generation mods. If it wasn't clear enough in the name, these mods help you generate orbs of power through things like getting multi-kills, through specific element weapons, and powered abilities. These mods include Power Preservation, Siphons, Heavy-Handed, Firepower, and Reaper. Our 7th mod category is weapon surges. These mods increase your damage for specific element weapons as long as you are charged with light. While you have any surge mod equipped, picking up an orb of power will give you a stack of charge with light. These are very commonly used mods for damage loadouts to put out the most damage possible. Stacking 3 of these mods will increase your element weapons damage to a grand total of 22% extra damage. Alright, now let's talk about the font mods category. These are extremely useful for making the most out of your stats. Let's say you want a 200 stat. Most people would just think to stack regular stat mods deep into the super stat. With one super font mod, however, as long as you have armor charges, you're automatically getting a free plus 20 to your super stat. So if you only put your super stat to 180, then you still hit 200 as long as you are charged with light. Which is very simple to make that happen infinitely. Font mods do stack. With 2 font mods, plus 40 goes to the stat. And with 3 font mods, plus 50 goes to the stat. That's plus 50 free stat points on multiple stats depending on how you set up your mods. This is super useful to really get your builds optimized and get the damage output and ability regeneration that you're looking for. On the topic of charge with light, let's talk more about the green mod category that helps you actually become charged. Some of you might be like, Rocco, what in the travel are you talking about with this charge with light thing? I briefly talked about it with the surge mods, so now I'll get more into detail for you. The main way you gain armor charges is by picking up an orb of power off the ground, while having a surge or font mod equipped. That will give you 1 charge, and you can have up to 3 at one time. Each stack lasts for 10 seconds, and as long as you have a charge, your fonts and surges will stay active. Now, with how easy it is to make orbs of power, you can indefinitely stay charged, but if you want to make it even more foolproof, you can use the green mods that add some awesome other ways to power your armor charge system. First off, we have Radiant Light. This mod allows you to give your teammates 1 armor charge just by using your super near them. We also have Powerful Friends, which gives your teammates an armor charge when you pick up an orb of power. These 2 mods are very useful when you're trying to support your team. There's also Shield Break Charge, which grants you an armor charge when you break an enemy shield with the matching element, like breaking a solar shield with a solar weapon. Another useful green mod is called Charged Up. It increases the cap of how many armor charges you can hold by 1. You can also stack that mod, so if you use 3 copies of Charged Up, you can hold up to 6 total armor charges, which can be an entire minute of decaying charges. Another useful mod for gaining armor charges is Stacks on Stacks. This mod gives you a second armor charge each time that you pick up an orb of power. You can also lean into elemental pickups like stasis shards or fire sprites by using the elemental charge mod, which gives you an armor charge for picking up multiple elemental pickups. Another super useful green mod that I personally use is Time Dilation. It increases the armor charge timer from the original 10 seconds per charge to 15 seconds per charge. You can stack these mods up to 3 times to max out the timer at 20 seconds per charge. When you pair this with Charged Up mod, you can have 6 stacks of charges at 20 seconds a copy for a grand total of 2 entire minutes of non-stop armor charge. This is what I meant when I said about infinitely. The last useful green mod out there is Powerful Attraction. While you have the mod equipped, casting your class ability pulls in all orbs of power within 12 meters. You can increase this to 18 meters by using 2 copies of Powerful Attraction. Now that you understand how useful these mods really are, you can stay charged out there way longer. Our final main mod category are the yellow kickstart mods. These mods give you ability energy after you use a matching ability. You get more ability energy back from each armor charge that you hold, which will negate surges and fonts, so I personally don't use them. This is very similar for the yellow finisher mods, as they consume armor charges to give you their benefits, while I wouldn't recommend using most of those either. I do recommend special finisher, however, as that allows you to make special ammo for you and your allies in a pinch if you have 3 armor charges available. I use it all the time. And finally, we have some miscellaneous mods that you may consider using. Fastball. This arms mod effectively increases how far your grenade is thrown by about 25%, which can be useful for hitting targets from cover. Loosened Blade, a chest mod that decreases the time it takes for your sword heavy attack to charge. Enhanced Athletics is a leg mod which literally increases your base movement speed, strafe speed, and jump height. Proximity Ward can be used with other finisher mods to give you a hefty 200 HP overshield while you perform a finisher. And last, Better Already and Recuperation. Both leg mods give you healing after picking up an Orb of Power, and these mods can be boosted by having a higher health stat. Alright guys, I know that was a long one, but you made it. Congratulations, you just finished the final video and it's time for you to join the Rakkstar Academy. Make sure you message a staff member from the Discord server so we can get you set up and verified for knowing the basic fundamentals of Destiny 2. Once you're verified, you will gain access to our classes where our instructors will be scheduling raids that you can join throughout the week to learn and gain experience. I hope you grow as players with the knowledge that I've shared in these videos and all future info so you can truly enjoy this incredible game that we call Destiny 2. As for anyone else who came across the video, if you guys enjoyed, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one.